Just quieten down, baby.
Per capita export value.
Libraries.
Minister, are you embarrassed by your behavior today?
There's a lot of bleeding hearts around.
Do you have the fortitude or the gonads to stand up and come across here and say that to me, you son of a bitch?
Just watch me.
He certainly went too far, Mr. Speaker, when I saw him stick his tongue out.
Contemptuous disregard.
More than a slab of bacon talking here.
The disappointment you also feel is my responsibility.
I lost my temper.
What is the nature of your thoughts?
The word was F-A-R-T.
Welcome to another salacious and carbonated episode of Canadian Politics is Boring. My name is Jesse Harley, and with me always is the very sweaty Reese Waters. Reese, say hello.
Hi, I'm currently damp.
Moist.
Oh God, hey.
Well, welcome, dear listener, to the show where Reese, a Welsh immigrant, he loves politics, and I fucking hate politics, and he thinks that's hilarious and wants to teach me.
There we go. That's all.
2 years. It's 2 years this, and I still don't like this shit. So
it's fine. You're having a good time. I'm having a good time.
That's for any new people who might come in. And just to say hi and let them know what's going on.
We've peaked. It's just the same old. Did you see my video?
So, have you ever played the game? It's a drinking game. What is it? It's Never Have I Ever.
Right.
Do you know how to play that game?
Yeah, you just say things you've never done.
But if the other person has done that thing, then that person has to drink.
Okay.
So if you know someone, if you're in a room and you want to be a dick and you're like, never have I ever cheated on my wife, and someone cheated and then they take a drink, you know what I mean? Like,
that's really mean.
It is mean, but it doesn't have to be so
they might be in therapy.
Horrifyingly mean.
Yeah, or counseling.
So let's play Never Have I Ever. I'll start. Never have I ever run through a field with a running chainsaw while a tree toppled down over top of me.
Oh, I have. So Jesse's referring to the video you might have seen on social media where I nearly died.
It was insane, Reese. What the fuck?
What else are you going to do on a Sunday with the kids? So I want to just give a bit of backstory. Before that video was taken, I had just perfectly cut the tree next to it down. It had fallen exactly where I wanted it to. Mm-hmm. No drama, no running with chainsaws. And then I was like, great, this worked. So I did exactly the same thing again with the other tree, but it was rotten. And then it was just like, I want to kill you, Reese. And it fell towards me and towards my house. And also that footage wasn't a CCTV camera. It was my father-in-law, and he did not flinch as the tree was coming down towards me.
No, I saw. It was really well. The video quality was garbage. It was was it from 2003 or like what the hell?
He's in his late 60s. I don't know what kind of phone camera you'd expect someone to have.
So hold on. When you saw that the tree was toppling down on top of you and you had a running chainsaw in your hand, what did you do with the chainsaw, Reese?
I ran with a chainsaw on my... Yeah, but the thing is, when a tree's falling down on top of you, I was only thinking about one thing. Yeah, the chainsaw wasn't running. The engine was running, but it was...
Okay, thank God.
It wasn't like going in my hand.
I don't know. The whole thing was very loud video, so like...
That's just a loud... I didn't... My ear protectors broke, so I was deaf for about 2 hours after.
Jeez.
So yeah, no, I'm alive though. I'm fine. Thanks to all the people who left comments on how I should have done it. So I just kept replying, going, "Where were you yesterday?"
It was amazing. Like when I saw it, I thought it was one of those viral videos that like Reese was like, "Hey, check this thing out." When I watched it, I was like, "That's amazing."
Stupid Welshman dies. 12,000 hits or whatever. So anyway, we had a good time.
It was amazing. And like, if you're listening to this and you want to see it, go check out our, it's on our Instagram and our Twitter. Yeah. So just go and check out our Twitter and Instagram. And it's the only video with a man with a chainsaw and a tree in it. So
it's pretty
amazing.
And the screenshot, the little placeholder image you have is me mid-run. Somebody told me I had the reflexes of a cat, but one of those fat...
Like a three-legged drunk cat?
One of those fat cats on the internet that go viral.
Yeah.
that sit up like an old man. So enough of.
I love how your father-in-law didn't say, "Hey, look out." He didn't say.
No, he was like, finally
Run,
my
Reese,
daughter can
run.
marry like a lawyer or something. So anyway, So do you want to do a content?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, you're gonna like this one. I'm very excited about sharing this one with you. Have you ever heard of the candy bar war?
This is a Canadian political thing?
This is a Canadian political story known as the Candy Bar War.
No.
Are you intrigued?
I mean, like, are you surprised that I haven't heard of it before? You find the weirdest fucking shit imaginable.
The Candy Bar War, also known as the Candy Bar Protest, also known as the 5-cent War, or the Candy Bar Strike, or the Candy Bar, or the Chocolate Candy Bar Strike. It's got so many names. The Candy Bar War is the best one. I
would like to know. I'd like to apologize to our audience. My microphone broke, and I had to find like a $30 microphone that was buried in the basement.
A pink Barbie My First Podcast mic.
Well, I mean,
microphone.
pretty much, yeah. So, if the quality of my audio, Reese says he's going to fix it up, and Reese is pretty good with audio. But just in case it's not the quality you guys are used to, I do want to apologize. I'm getting a new mic soon, so
yeah.
So that'll be probably for next couple 2 or 3.
You say that. You said that last time it didn't happen, so you just don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah. So
Candy Bar Wars, go.
So April the 25th, 1947, the manufacturers of Canadian chocolate bars upped the price from
This is 87?
47. 1947, from 5 cents to 8 cents, which was 60%.
That's quite a jump.
Yeah. And we can all relate to that today. Food suddenly going up in price.
Yeah.
One
that
Timbit.
Much. Not 60% fucking jump. That's insane.
I went to a drive-through. I got 10 Timbits. They were like, that's $1 million. So...
Okay.
Yeah, so I still have 5. So, so the reason for the price hike was because the wartime subsidies on food had just ended, and the cost of milk, cocoa beans, and sugar, which all mixed together to make chocolate bars, had gone up. Also, the manufacturers said they'd had issues with the cocoa bean supply because there was a disease attacking plants in West Africa, so there were less beans available. And also they said that a lot of the it was just a lot of issues. They were making up a lot of excuses for why the price was going up, but this was across the whole industry. They all just raised their prices. So on April the 25th, 1947, in Ladysmith, British Columbia, a group of children were going to a place called the Wigwam Cafe, which was a local confectionery and lunch counter. And they discovered the chocolate bar had gone up by 60% overnight with no advance warning. And the children... So
no advanced warning.
No advanced warning. Yeah, I didn't get a text or anything. So what?
Send out flyers. Yeah.
What would you do if you were a kid and you realized the price of chocolate had gone up? Kids these days don't give a shit, but like back then, they were
It
incensed.
was a big deal.
They were very angry. So I've got some audio clips of from some kids who were part of this very first moment. And
Hold on.
This basically...
Hold on. Wait. How do you find this shit?
There's a documentary about it on YouTube. I just grabbed some audio clips.
Yeah, this is insane.
I'm not some kind of wizard.
Well, you are kind of some kind of wizard, man. This is
You're very easily impressed. So So because most children earned only $1 in allowance, it meant that their ability to pump themselves full of sugar was decreased. So they were, those sugar junkies are angry. So I'll play you some clips of what they did. So
okay.
This is them finding out.
This day we went down, and usually if you had a nickel, you could buy a bottle of pop, ice cream cone, or a chocolate bar. And all of a sudden we went in and bango, chocolate bars, 8 cents. And that just hit us like a slap in the face. We just couldn't understand this.
Going up to 8 cents constrained our finances to the limit that we it was getting beyond what we could actually handle at the age that we were at our ages, you know.
I think I said, it could have been somebody else, but I think I said, well, we should protest this. So we made some placards, and somehow we got back down to the wigwam, which was an ice cream parlor like you see on TV of 50 years ago. And we picketed that, much to the disgust of the owner. Made a hell of a lot of noise, and people probably laughed at these kids were stirring up a row for nothing.
I would guess there would have been probably 30 kids in the parade. But it seemed a big crowd to us at the time, that we were well supported by our own group.
Everything was very high-keyed and a lot of kids. There was a lot of signs.
There we go.
Okay, so first off, you said.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain you said, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you said you found recordings of children.
No, they
talking
were
about
former children who are now adults.
Well, yes, that's what adults are. You just call them adults. You don't call them
no, they were kids,
former children.
Kids who were at the protest, and then they interviewed them in the 90s.
Oh, I didn't hear the last part.
Yeah, those kids sound really ill.
Something wrong with these children. I thought you had recordings from 1940s from the kids themselves. I was like, that's why I was so like blown away by your research. I was like, holy shit, where are you finding audio recordings from the 1940s? From the actual fucking children.
I thought you were easily impressed.
No, you just found recordings of people who used to be children. That's everybody, Reese. That is literally everybody.
But they tracked down the right kids. I mean, that's hats off to the documentary makers. They found the kids who did the first protest in 1947.
That's true.
I didn't.
There's something wrong with these kids. It's something very sickly.
So they started to boycott chocolate bars, and they started driving around in a 1923 Buick, chanting. I don't think they were driving, and they must have got an older kid. We want 5-cent chocolate bars. 8 cents is too damn far. We want a 5-cent chocolate bar, or we want a 5-cent chocolate bar. So every for 3 days,
like you added, I like how you added in that little inflection. That was needed.
Chocolate bar. So for 3 days, they protested during their lunch hour. And
can you hold on? Can you chant it again? But this time, add a flurry of swear words. Just want to make it more realistic.
We want a 5-cent chocolate bar. You fuckers have gone too far. We want a 5-cent chocolate bar. Oh, fuck off. How's that?
You have to rhyme with the last part.
Bar. So they protested during the lunch break for 3 days, and then it got local and national publications. And don't forget, this was like a national thing. So the price had gone up all across the country. So these strikes started to spring up all across the whole country. So
wow.
In Victoria, 200 children marched on the provincial legislature and closed it down. In Edmonton, they essentially blocked it all off, so they shut down operation for the day. Edmonton, 300 children held a buyer's strike and boycotted the chocolate bars. In Ottawa, a group of 10 buglers led 60 children on a march to Parliament Hill. In Toronto, 500 teenagers from different high schools marched down Bloor Street. And then other demonstrations happened in Burnaby, Winnipeg, Montreal, Calgary, Quebec City, and all across the Maritimes as well. And in some cases, police were called to break up the demonstrations.
Oh my God. Wow.
And then 300 children pledged to boycott chocolate bars until they returned to the original price. And sales dropped 80%. This was a sample from Winnipeg candy stores.
Well, the sales couldn't have dropped 80% from 300 people.
No, but these were just people protesting. But kids, just because you weren't at the protest doesn't mean that kids
right.
watching
So
the
in
news.
other words, the news got around to it.
Yeah,
to boycott them. It wasn't just couldn't just been 300 news of 300.
More than 300 kids in Canada.
Had to be.
Sure.
Had to be. Yeah.
So the sales dropped 8% in one Winnipeg store. They didn't sell anything at all one day.
Wow.
And then also they were being supported by their parents who brought them protest signs, snacks, and stood there in support. And parents were like supportive of the kids. Community groups were involved. It seemed like it wasn't just chocolate. Like the chocolate bars became a symbol of the cost of food going up across the board for a lot of Canadians who weren't just kids. They were obviously former children, but at the time they were adults, which I know confuses you. So they,
I think it confuses you.
So like prices are going up now. It was like, imagine it was the result of it was a popular, protest with the kids. Oh, they're cute. Look, they're standing up for their democratic rights. And also the bigger meaning was, hey, prices are going up for everything, but this is one that we can all kind of support and get on board with.
Okay.
So, which I is a great kind of protest. I like protests. It's like started by kids and run by kids. I think is great. But as you can imagine, what's the economic system we live in, though, Jesse?
Capitalism.
So, who's going to win in a fight between capitalism?
Is that an economic system? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
whatever.
not an economist.
Who's going to win between capitalism and children? Who do you think is going to win in that fight?
Children. One is a group of actual human beings. The other is a concept.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like asking, who's going to win, a gallon of seawater or triangles? I don't know.
So the chocolate bar manufacturers decided to fight back, and they had the benefit of PR companies and a marketing budget.
And millions of dollars.
Yeah. So Roundtree's published...
I think so. So, so if the question is who's going to win this fight, the children protesting versus the
big chocolate.
Yeah. I would, big, like common sense would say big chocolate, but for the sake of the story,
versus all the children in the country.
Yeah, I want all the children. I want them to win. I want them to win. I want them to win for the story. So I'm going to bet the children. That's what I'm going to do.
Money on the kids. Okay, cool.
I'm going to put my money in the kids.
So Roundtree's published an open letter in Canadian newspapers saying why you pay 8 cents for a Roundtree chocolate bar, and then 5 days later, Willard's Chocolates published something similar in the Toronto Star saying 5-cent chocolate bars just aren't possible anymore.
Where are they publishing these?
In major newspapers.
Right. Where they know these children are reading.
Where they know the parents are reading. Because to be honest, if they can get the parents to tell their kids to shut up, then it'll go away. And just go away. Because
that always works.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And also they would have spokespeople on CBC Radio as well. And this all failed.
Of course it did.
So... and then they started to... So they were like, oh, great. Well, let's compare the price of a chocolate bar in Canada to the United States. And they were slightly more expensive in the United States. They paid up to 10 cents for chocolate. So they claimed Canadian kids had it good at 8 cents, which also didn't work. But then the manufacturers managed to find a way of lying about the strike that worked.
What?
Well, they were just like, well, we're being honest. We're giving them facts and information. So we're not going to beat this by being honest and sharing the information. So let's just lie about it.
Oh my God. What did they say?
So at the time, communism was a thing. It was growing. World War II was over. The Cold War had started. We covered the Cold War extensively. So it came to an end. So the Toronto Evening Telegram published a story with the headline, Red Seen Duping Youth into 8-cent bar campaign. So an anonymous tipster had approached the publication saying that the National Federation of Labour Youth, which was just one of the community organizations kind of supporting it, was basically backed by communism and was aligning itself.
Hold on, what?
They said that one of the community organizations supporting the kids was backed by communism, and they were recruiting children to further its communist agenda.
Oh, wow. They sunk fucking low.
And then, so the quote was, chocolate bars and a world revolution may seem poles apart, but to the devious communist mind, there is a close relationship. They don't realize it, but the indignant students parading with their placards, demanding a 5-cent candy bar, have become another instrument in the communist grand strategy of chaos.
Wow. I fucking hate corporations so much. Like... just adding fuel to the fire, man. Like, holy shit, that's amazing.
So
how low can they fucking stoop?
So the Financial Post followed up the Toronto Evening Telegram article with one that headlined, "Communists Run Candy Bar Strike, Recruit Young Children for Parade." And even though there was no evidence, and no evidence was ever found, it worked. So because of their fear of being associated with communism at the time, parents just shut their mouths and stopped supporting it. And the price of chocolate bars remained at 8 cents.
Amazing. So the children lost. That sucks.
And they were just kind of baffled by it, because a lot of the kids were like, "Oh no, it started in Ladysmith, British Columbia, with those first kids who started that protest." So Parker Williams, one of the leaders of the original one, said that it was just spontaneous and it was never kind of. They just realized they didn't have to accept the increased price of a chocolate bar, and that they had the power to protest and they wanted to exercise it, and it was nothing to do with anything apart from that. So there we go. Kids exercising, kids getting involved in politics and activism, getting silenced by large companies.
So hold on. That doesn't mean that they have to buy them. There was this huge but
everyone was afraid to protest because they were being called communists, and they were like, whoa. It's like, no one really wanted to be tarred with that brush at the time. So because the newspapers were saying it, people were like, oh God, maybe I've heard there's communism involved. And people were like, no, because they were cracking down on it at the time.
So the kids just went and bought just
the
as
kids
much.
Were like, sorry kids, you're just going to have less chocolate.
Wow.
And less chocolate, but at least we're not communists. So.
What? So can you please name some of these chocolate bar companies that got involved in this communist lie?
It was, I think they were doing it through proxy. So I imagine they were asking like an anonymous tipster, or they would pay people with columns in newspapers to do opinion pieces and things. So I imagine they were probably it was through PR and communications people to try but a lot, it was Roundtrees was one of them.
Roundtrees. Thank you. Who else?
You starting your own boycott now. The people who made these decisions are dead, I'm pretty sure. So you're just going to punish
the sins of the father, Reese. The sins of the father. Name them. Who else?
I can't remember the name of the other
You've got them right in front of you. Who are they?
You're going to go and Jesse's going to go and protest now. Where are they? I don't know. And I'll text you later. It's
Don't
fine.
text me. Tell our audience. We've got thousands of people.
So
let's have a little mini boycott.
Roundtree Chocolate Bar and Willard's. Those are the two companies I can find.
Willard's.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard of Willard's. Maybe they went out of business.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how big chocolate defeated the aspirations of children.
Oh, Willard's Chocolate Archives, the Vintage Inn. All right, so they're no longer.
No.
All right.
So, yeah.
Who's the other one? This is Roundtree's.
Roundtree's
Chocolate. I think they're still around. Roundtree, WROWNTREE.
Yeah.
Are they also? Are they still going?
I don't know. This is not
1988 defunct.
So the kids won in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. They fell roughly the same time as communism, which is ironic.
Oh wait, no, they didn't. They're not defunct. Roundtree. Oh, it gets even better. Roundtree was acquired by Nestle in 1988. Nestle is evil as fuck.
They were like, we like the cut of your jib. We're going to buy you.
Right?
There we go.
Oh, that's like, how weird is that? Like, one evil chocolate corporation buys up another evil chocolate.
One evil giant fish gobbles up another one.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I just did some research and taught you something. How do you like that, Reese?
Thank you. Thanks for...
You're welcome. There you go.
So you've
2
now
years.
got to boycott all Nestle products.
I mean, people are already doing that, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is just fuel for the fire, to be honest.
Yeah. God,
Yeah,
Nestle
cool.
and fucking Monsanto.
Monsanto.
I don't know how to pronounce it. They're fucking just horrifying evil. But, that's a different story.
I mean, they're evil, but on the other hand, Kit Kats, so...
Yeah.
I'm an anarchist. Do you know what? I don't snap Kit Kats into the little fingers and eat the little fingers. I bite in half the wrong way.
Just like sideways.
Just to freak people out.
Not even lengthwise. Just like
no, just like that. Diagonal, not in line with how they're supposed to be eaten. That's how I protest Nestle.
That's great.
Yeah, so cool. So anyway, everyone, if you've enjoyed this, then we've got a wonderful premium episode behind the paywall. That if you like this show and you want to support us, you go to patreon.com/Canadian Politics is Boring. Tell them about the episode we did that's coming out.
Oh my god! It's actually kind of fucking amazing. It's amazing. I love our Patreon shows. I love them so much because Reese finds weird shit for our main stream, our Patreon stream. I don't know where he finds this stuff. Anyway, we just recorded it. I was like on the fucking edge of my seat the whole time. I'm not kidding. I really was. I don't want to give it away, but a passenger airline in the 80s, we're flying from Ottawa to Winnipeg, somewhere far away. Very long flight, and they thought they had enough fuel. I'll leave it at that. You've got to hear this fucking story. It's insane. I'm not saying this just because we want patrons. We do want patrons, of course. We love people supporting the show, and we want people to help out. But this is a fucking amazing story. It really is.
Cool.
So,
well, anyway,
patreon.com/Canadian Politics is Boring. And by this point, by the way, you have access to like everything we've done since we've started Patreon. So it's like a fairly large archive of crazy fucking stories.
Yeah. We've got a bunch of stuff on there.
I totally yeah.
We've got the Many Escapes of Ernest Cashel, if you remember that one. We've got Winnipeg's Flying Bandit, and we've also got Who Ate Jumbo along with this new one.
Oh my god, it was so good! It was so good, man.
The Wafakak episodes that were behind the paywall. There's a ton of those, and also
Reese loves doing Wafakak,
and also a link to I've actually posted my secret podcast.
Oh yeah, the Commuter Chronicles.
that is on there. There's a link to it, which is hard to find.
It's the best. Before we did this, Reese and I both worked for this company that shall remain nameless, but we did not enjoy ourselves. And Reese was going a little insane, and so he started a podcast on his commute to work in his car, and he would talk about like finding little secret nooks inside of work that his boss couldn't find him in, that he could just kind of go put his feet up and and escape the horrors of the day. Anyway, that's enough selling you. But our patrons that we have are very happy, and we'd love to invite more in. So because that's your call to action. That's an actual that's a thorough call to action.
Yeah, go check it out. It's the cheapest thing you'll ever buy. You know. It's the cheapest thing you'll ever buy. It costs hardly anything. It's like $7.50 a month, and
you are quite a salesman, Reese.
And all your dreams come true for that little. It's like finding a Rolex in Dollarama.
I thought you were going to say it's like finding a Rolex in dog shit. I don't know why my mind went there.
Well, I prefer Dollarama for the mental image, but yours is funnier. So. Anyway, we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.